How are you today?
Chris, I'm good, buddy. All right, it's going to be a big day today. Hey, look, just some of the things that we've got going on. Okay, of course, you've got this position we opened yesterday, right, on
Yep.
OSTK. So, anyways, George Soros apparently bought close to 2.5 million shares. That's why you've seen all the action here. Okay, so we
Yep.
you got 50. You should have what 50 calls on this. Okay, but here's the tricky part. As the stock is going up, what do you think is one of the key things to look here?
Um, when it hits the top, I suppose.
Well, no, the most important thing here is anytime the stock is going up or down, what is the number one key factor that we want to pay attention to, especially in the after hours or pre-market hours?
Um, I'm not sure.
The number one thing we want to look at is the volume, right? So, okay, sometimes the stock will go up, but it's going to do it on a lighter volume. If it's going up on a
Okay.
lighter volume, it's not, even though the price action shows one thing, it could easily reverse, right? So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm liking the price action. I'm not 100% enthusiastic about the volume because earlier when I was looking, it was only going up on a volume of like 10,000 shares or 12,000 shares. That's not much. Now, if we were to see a volume um, of maybe a couple of 100,000 shares pre-market, and of course the volume also needs to be relevant in the type of some stocks just generally trade at a higher volume than the others. So we need to for some stocks that trade maybe 3,000 of shares a day, then 12,000 shares of volume pre-market. That's huge. But OSTK, that's a pretty high volume stock. I mean, there's days where it trades at a few million shares a day. So to see 12,000 shares volume pre-market, that's not big. That's not huge. Now, if that's going to change, because right now we got 20 minutes till the market open. Okay, if that's going to change, if the volume goes up over 100,000, then I would definitely be, I would definitely be interested in holding on to it, maybe for the rest of today or tomorrow. All right, so you've got the position. You're going to open positive on it. You're probably going to double your money. But what I want you to set, we're actually going to set and write these down as we go because we're going to set some close and limit orders on a lot of these. Okay, so write this out. We want to close this out at 4.3. Okay, we bought it yesterday at 50 cents. We're going to try to close it out today at 4.3. Okay, OSTK. So, and you can do those later after we get off the little conference call here. Okay, so OSTK. We're going to close that out for you at 4.3. All right. Have you been paying attention to what was going on with some of the news, some of the companies that were reporting the news yesterday or this morning?
I listened to the pre-market show, but that's the extent of it. I didn't have time to do anything else.
All right. Well, okay. So I'll just fill you in real quick. Okay. A couple of things that are important to us. As you can see, we got a graph. Okay. Here's pulled up some of your positions, some of my positions. REGN, ALXN, ICPT. Now, all of them are biotechnology stocks, and look at the graphs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's cool is we actually placed all those trades way before this announcement was made, and look right here, okay? This right here, Teva Pharmaceutical. After the market closed, okay, announcement came out that Warren Buffett bought 358 million worth of shares. Now, how do you think that's going to impact the price action of the stocks or the options that you currently own that you opened up yesterday?
They're going to increase
Okay, yeah, but basically saying that, hey, Warren Buffett, and tell me one thing, when does Warren Buffett buy anything?
when it's at the bottom.
Right, he doesn't buy stuff when it's high. So, and it does not necessarily mean that the actual price is at the very, very bottom, but he does like to find undervalued companies. So, and since this company is in the same sector as the rest of these companies here, then that is sort of his voice of confidence that, hey, maybe the biotechnology, biopharmaceutical companies as a sector overall are undervalued. Okay, so as a result, we're seeing, I'm actually liking the activity in Alexion. Okay, and you do have 40 options of those. Plus, you've got the ones that are deep in the money at 116. So write this down. We're going to sell the 116s today at 11.8. Okay. In other words, I am. Yeah, ALXN, you're going to sell the 8 that you've got, the 8 116 calls that you bought for $1.15 2 days ago. You're going to sell them today at 11.8, okay? And the 40 that you bought yesterday, the 125 calls for 50 cents, you're going to sell them today at 2.8. Okay, so you can set those later. But basically, what I'm looking at is this whole biotechnology sector. If we are correct in our estimates, okay, that the biotechnology sector is bottoming, because look, if you look at the charts, there's really nothing significant. There's really nothing significant there to say. And I actually had Priceline pulled up here for a reason. But let's just go back. For example, REGN. Okay, let's just take a look. It's a good company, good stock, good earnings, good drugs. I mean, there's a lot of good things. But, hey, regardless of that, I mean, the biotechnology sector just haven't been doing good. So a good stock like that, I mean, we're seeing price action to where from, you know, August where it was trading over $500. I think it was in the 540s. This graph doesn't take it back there. But now it's at 330. So could we consider that this could be a sign that the biotechnology sector is bottoming? If this is the case, then all of this position, Alexion.
That's a 77.5% consensus with 78%.
Okay, so same thing here, right? And what we're looking today in Alexion is hopefully it's going to go for this 124.50 area, which would be its 200-day moving average. As long as it gets above that, and we're already seeing some action that's pointing to the fact that it's probably going to go through that. I think we're in the clear here, so this could go as high as 127.5, 130 today, tomorrow. That's what I'm looking at. Possibly 127.8, and I'm kind of estimating it right here. It could pause. That's why we're setting our closing orders right around this area right here, just in case it does pause here and takes a breather. As it makes a run up here, we're going to close that stuff out. Okay. Now, as you can see, also it's trading, but it's bouncing really strongly off of this low. So all of this, all of a sudden, lines up our strategy, right? And ICPT as well, which, you know, bad earnings, but good future perspectives here.
$3 million order for advanced reporters program.
So
that's Romeo Alpha, Delta Alpha.
We've got also at the bottom. So overall, if we're correct about our thesis here, then we should do quite good. And look, they're all spiking just a little bit higher in pre-market. So this is, I mean, this is looking good so far. Now there is one bad apple in this group, and that was BIIB. Okay, BIIB, bad results. It is trying to bounce back this morning. Okay, now I'm not worried too much about it because I think ultimately today, tomorrow, it will have a move lower rather than higher. But that is a position I do want you to set at closing out. It's probably not going to be a very good one for us, but hey, you know, we got 80% good, 20% bad right now. So set BIIB to close out at 2.9. Okay, 2.9. Just kind of put that in. All right. All right. What I wanted to talk to you about next. So this one had really bad news that came out yesterday. Right. Those were the puts, and of course we were buying it right around here. So, and they were high because it was dropping with such a huge velocity. I mean, such a huge speed of drop within just a fraction.
55 cents on guidance.
Do this. I'm going to turn that off real quick. All right, so got a lot of stuff going on, but this is what I'm looking in BIB. Okay, BIIB. All right, we got, look, it's breaking down. There's just a lot of bearish signs here, right? And not only did it have bad news yesterday, but it had bad news. It's just in a bad streak for a while now. Ever since it was trying to go for these highs here. There's bad news, more bad news. It's breaking through the 50-day moving average. Now it's below the 200-day moving average, okay? And I'm not really seeing a lot of people trying to step in and buy it. In other words, this morning already it could have been going way higher on a very strong volume, but I'm not seeing that action. So I'm actually looking as far as my position. If it goes above 302, 305, I'm probably going to buy some more puts. But look at the volume action right here. Look how huge that volume action. The last time it had similar volume, not as much volume, was right here. Was also on the move down. So the distribution definitely clearly, as the stock goes down, we're not seeing a lot of people stepping in and buying in. So that's another bearish sign right here. So now could it ultimately go a little bit higher before it makes a move lower again? Yes, but we'll find that out later today. Now, some of the important things to look out for. Okay, a lot of stocks, a lot of hotel stocks reported good earnings yesterday. What does that tell you? For example,
Hotel stocks.
Okay, hotel stocks. What is one stock that we did? You made $2,100 yesterday on those 3 calls. What was that stock?
What was that stock?
Yeah, what was that stock? Huh? Remember Priceline, buddy? Yeah, Priceline. So Priceline, deals with all. They make a lot of money on hotel reservations. They don't make a whole lot of money on air flight reservations, but they make a ton of money on hotel reservations. So all these. Okay, so this is Hyatt. Look, positive earnings. The stock goes higher. Okay, this is Marriott right here. Announced earnings yesterday. Same thing, good earnings. Okay, this is Hilton right here, announcing good earnings. Okay, what does all this stuff tell you? Look at Hilton, boom, right there. So it's not just one company in the hotels travel industry announcing good earnings. It's multiple companies. How do you think that's going to impact the Priceline stock?
Same way, I suppose. It's going to turn around. It's going to go up again.
It's going to go up. So I mean, all these companies announcing earnings and making further projections higher for the following quarters. Okay, that's a bullish sign for Priceline. Now, another competitor. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, Expedia reported earnings, and what happened? It dropped like a rock. Actually, not even 2 weeks, maybe 10 days ago, right? So Expedia falls from 120s to, dips under 100 for a second. But guess what I noticed? When I was looking in Benzinga, right, in the options report here, I'm noticing that actually there's people buying calls. People are buying calls on Expedia for March, April. They're buying calls. So apparently they think that a huge miss in this quarter earnings and sales numbers is not here to stay. They're actually thinking that this is maybe an odd situation and things are going to significantly improve. Otherwise, why would they be buying calls with an expiration just a month or 2 months out? Because they think this is going to go higher. And the level of calls they're buying the 110 calls. So I'm trying to put this 2 and 2 together, right? So there's a big play going on Expedia turning around right after a bad quarter. I'm paying attention to all the hotels reporting good earnings, and then on top of everything, you got Trip, which is TripAdvisor, announced earnings last night, and I'm not sure if it's reflected in this graph yet. Okay, but anyways, this was yesterday. This morning it's opening at 47, so let's pull it up here real quick. Okay, so Trip is opening at actually 46.30. So based off that, what would you think Priceline is trading at this morning? Up, down by how much?
I don't know.
Come on, Chris.
It'd be, I don't know, mate, I don't know.
Okay. What? I mean, just give me, would it be trading higher or lower?
It'd be lower at the moment, but going higher, yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Remember, I mean, all the hotels, Trip, reporting good earnings, everything is good. So it's trading at 1850, okay? So we were buying it yesterday when it was 1780. We made good money. We closed it out around here, which actually, by the way, we perfectly timed that trade, right? But after that, even though it went up higher, the price of the option that we sold was timed so well that even though the price went higher later, the option didn't sell for just a couple of dollars higher after that. So we did good on that. And since then, we've put that money to use on what, REGN, and you're already up on that. So, but actually, if you can write this down on your REGN position, okay, the ones we bought yesterday for 3.3, you're going to close them out today at 14.9, okay, 14.9. So if you can put that order in there, okay, 14.9 on REGN. All right, so Chris, this is kind of the overview for today. Once we clear out one of the positions there, okay, one of the ultimate stocks I would want to get in is Priceline, because there's just too many positive news in the market, in the sectors that Priceline is dealing with, and also dollar is falling, and that's also not a positive for Priceline. When dollar falls, Priceline does a lot of business overseas, so all of a sudden, because everybody pays in dollars, okay, when they're buying Priceline services, and they're paying for hotels or anything else Priceline offers, they pay in dollars. So when dollar falls, then a consumer in Europe, all of a sudden, it becomes more affordable for them to book on Priceline, because now the euros are actually going to be able to buy them more. They're going to be able to buy more when dollar falls. So this is actually a positive thing for Priceline, and you know, it should positively affect its earnings report over the next few quarters if the dollar trend continues to go lower. Okay, so lots of good things expecting out of the Priceline. As you know, I opened in the position. I might have not told you about it when it was at 17.30. I opened a bull position. I bought a bunch of calls on 1950 level that expires in a month, and so we're a week into it, and we're at 1850. So the stock is 130 bucks higher from where I got in. It's a good thing. So I'd like for you to catch some of these trades. So as soon as we clear up one of these positions here, our ultimate goal is to get in on Priceline at a good level today. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Now, also a couple of things. Shop, which is Shopify. Its competitor Wix reported good earnings yesterday, and so it's been going up. Remember, we were trying to buy it at 130 yesterday, the calls, but I said, hey, the calls are just too high, so we didn't. But now it did report earnings today, and they're good. But you know, apparently the reaction to the earnings is not good because they started selling it off. So